bit, but I gotta get in the mood. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are back for week 2 of the Bush League Takes number 2 by myself, Mitchell. Care to say your names? In case we have a new audience this week.
Austin Rank, big Ronaldo fan. Break.
I'm Nathan, and I think we know who's next to me over here. Put a name tag on. All right, and there's Will Durain. So I think we.
And then we got Will Durain, and your host this week, Mitchell Jandrin, huge Jordan Sparks fan. So we're going to start off with the topic of the NFL and the Packers. First topic of discussion. If you had to start your franchise around one player, any NFL player, who would it be? We're going to start with you, Nathan.
Well, that's an easy one. You got to pick a better player in football. Probably the greatest player of all time, Aaron Rodgers. That's not even really a debate anymore. I don't think. That's who you pick. That's who you start a team with.
What does he got though? At this caliber,
I'll take 4 years of Aaron, then 15 years of like Mahomes. I'll win 4 championships.
But that's also what McCarthy's been doing lately, and it only resulted in one.
If I can build a team, I'm not going to wind up with the squad the Packers got. I'll have some supporting cast. I'll have a defense.
We'll talk about that cast later on in the show, ladies and gentlemen. Will Durain, what do you think on the topic?
I'm reaching here. I would take Luke Kuechly.
Wow. Out of nowhere.
You have a good defense. That's a basis to get in the playoffs. If you can hold teams to not score more than you will win. Luke Kuechly, he's young. He's a good leader, good locker room guy, big-time blue guy. That's why we go with him.
He's not really that young anymore.
Yeah, he's getting up to his 30s. I don't know if I would start
a
on a defender.
To start a team with, I'd pick like Edmonds or something, a 20-year-old.
Austin Rink, what do you think on this?
I would actually start my franchise with the coach, McVay.
Ooh, no John Gruden? Wow.
You don't want 10 years with $100 million of John Gruden?
If you start with John Gruden on a franchise, your age is obviously going to be over 30, average on your team. Well, that's just how he works.
Yeah,
if I had to pick...
Well, John Gruden, you think John Gruden dies before his contract's up?
It's a possibility. I mean, a lot of people are calling for the neck of John Gruden these days.
That's a good point. He's made the most business-savvy decision of his life. He's going to get fired after 2 years, and his $100 million guarantee is going to go sit in luxury and never have to do anything the rest of his life.
At least he's making the money. My pick here, it's a no-brainer. It's not a quarterback. It's not a linebacker like Will. It is Ezekiel Elliott, the best running back in the league. Hands down.
That's a bad pick.
People say you can't catch the ball. If Dak Prescott had to throw him 100 balls from 5 feet away, I bet he would catch at least 20.
That's quite the conversion rate. Okay, but you'd rather pick Zeke over Gurley?
I'm waving the challenge flag on that one.
You take Zeke over Gurley?
I'm waving it at your Luke Kuechly pick. That was just horrid. The viewers are not going to be happy.
You take Zeke over Gurley.
Over who?
Todd Gurley.
You know, it was a close one, but when Todd Gurley wasn't in Sean McVay's system, he really wasn't the best running back in the NFL. He averaged like 2.9 yards per carry. I get Zeke is behind the best offense line in probably NFL history.
Zeke out of Dallas, and you don't know what he's going to do.
Le'Veon? Well, Le'Veon doesn't want to play, so I'm not taking it.
Le'Veon's a prima donna.
All right. Speaking of interesting topics, our next one is, what was a more impressive comeback, Aaron Rodgers versus the 49ers or Tom Brady, the so-called GOAT, to Skip Bayless, against the Chiefs? We're gonna start with Will Durain on this one.
I think number 12 your comeback.
That's a beautiful answer.
I really have no. I don't know.
It's a good answer. Probably the best one we've had so far. Austin Rank.
Rank's not getting much from.
All right, yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to go and say Aaron Rodgers. You just look at that last drive where he scored a touchdown. Look at those passes to Devontae Adams. Nothing like that was on Brady's last drive. Wide open Gronkowski for 60, and then
He had 3 timeouts as well, ladies and gentlemen. 3 timeouts.
if you just compare final drives and you look at pass for pass, Aaron Rodgers single-handedly between him and Devontae Adams, so much better than Brady's comeback against Chiefs.
I got 3 valid points to this. Okay, first, Aaron Rodgers, 0 timeouts, backed up at like his own 10. He's got 2 rookie receivers that make some pretty nice plays throughout the game. And yes, Tom Brady had 3 timeouts. He's facing the worst defense in the league at the time. Finds a wide open Gronkowski, no one within 25 yards. And Aaron Rodgers, the most impressive pass, that back shoulder to Equanimous St. Brown was just phenomenal. It wasn't so much on Aaron, but it was a great pass, but it had to take a great catch.
I don't know. I would say 49ers defense is ranked 28 coming in. That's a bad football team.
They have Richard Sherman.
That's a bad
They
football
had
team.
Richard Sherman.
No, Rank. No one can hear you.
No, Mr. Rank.
That's just a bad football team. So, I mean, in terms of who had a better comeback, if you just look at the comeback itself, it was Rodgers' final drive, but Brady's was a little bit more impressive considering the level of competition, I guess.
We are down to 2. It looks like Austin Rank has lost connection for a second. Next topic of discussion. Branching off what Aaron Rodgers had to do with those rookies, do those 2 rookies deserve more reps compared to, say, Randall Cobb?
No. Absolutely not. You're too quick to forget about week 1. Remember week 1 against the Chicago Bears, what Randall Cobb did? You remember that performance?
But I just want – you're failing to mention what Randall Cobb did against the Redskins with 3 drop balls, 2 fumbles. I mean, we win that game if Randall Cobb is Randall Cobb.
Okay, but you're saying that you'd rather a rookie perform in that spot over Randall Cobb, who can do way more with the football and can do way more in open field and has proven more.
Valdez-Scantling, he's the real deal. He runs by anyone. He's got the height. And there was a play in that game where he was not open. Rodgers threw it to him, and Valdez-Scantling caught it on the freaking corner's back.
Okay. I'm not saying that Scantling's not impressive, but you're not – right now you are not replacing him with Cobb. Or you're not replacing Cobb with him. Maybe Geronimo Allison. I hate that guy.
Geronimo Allison is the second best wide receiver in Green Bay.
That's false. Jimmy Graham.
No. Oh, my gosh. Jimmy Graham? He looks like a guy that's running in a swimming pool with cinder blocks his feet. Jimmy Graham, slowest tight end, I know.
Oh, my. You must not know many tight ends, then.
Don't get me started on tight ends. Lance Kendricks, ship him back. He is
Tight end
garbage.
Nathan Klaesman wasn't the fastest.
Will Durain, you need to get some connection here, buddy.
Hear me.
All right, we are going to move on to our next topic of discussion, ladies and gentlemen, to the NBA. First off, I want to ask who you guys think will be the most valuable player in the NBA this year? Starting with Nathan Yagodinsky.
That's going to be honest. The Greek Freak. Most talented player in basketball, without a doubt.
There's definitely some bias to that. I mean, I watched the game last night. I saw the 8 turnovers. I also saw a lot of
Did you see the
great plays.
Did you see the near triple double in the first half?
The what?
The near triple double he had in the first half.
Yeah, but he's got to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
Will.
Davis.
Ooh, Giannis from rank as well. Will, I know you're a little biased sports fan. Let's hear what you guys say.
Mitch, I said Anthony Davis.
Oh, you said Anthony Davis. I missed that.
Yeah, Anthony Davis. He's going to become the second best player at the end of this year, behind
Giannis.
Trey.
Giannis. Just because he's pretty buff. I don't know if he can shoot, but he can score, so that's pretty
As we
good.
saw last episode, Giannis.
Yeah,
buff.
I mean, we talked about our best players in the East, and Nathan Yagodinsky, you did say Kyrie Irving was the best player in the East, and now you're saying Giannis is the MVP. I'm a little confused.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
We're sticking with that. Well,
Kyrie
ladies and
Irving,
gentlemen,
look at Kyrie Irving
Kyrie
supporting
looked
cast.
terrible last night.
He's not going to be able to put up the numbers Giannis is going to be able to. Giannis has ample opportunity to put up statistics that will garner him an MVP.
Kyrie doesn't average 20 points a game.
there's too many weapons.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we had two Giannis's pick and an Anthony Davis. Those are my top two. So I'm going to go on a limb here. I'm going to say Cedi Osman, the guy that is crowning over LeBron James, your 2019
Cedi Osman.
MVP.
That's bold.
I watched a little bit of the action last night. I saw a great 17 points and a hard-fought 11 rebounds.
Did Decker play?
Decker played a little bit, but the most impressive stat I saw last night for your Brooklyn Nets, Jared Dudley, 36 minutes, 1 point. Who do you guys have as your most improved player in this new campaign?
Can I say Gordon Hayward?
Say Gordon Hayward. It's most improved comeback player of the year. It's like the same thing.
I'm going to cheat the system and go Gordon Hayward then. Come back off that leg injury.
Mitch, going off of you, I'm going to say Dudley, most improved. I think he'll improve a little bit off that 36-minute 1-point performance.
At least he's getting the minutes at, 35? I like the intensity that they have there in Brooklyn.
I think they'll improve on that.
They got to give minutes to someone in Brooklyn.
Take home MIP.
Here's my thought on that. Gordon Hayward, former All-Star, shattered his leg. It was just a tragedy event. But I just don't see the same player out of him. What I do see, Lonzo Ball. I'm not a Lonzo Ball fan. I like the eye roll because I think he's the worst player in NBA history. But he had one of the worst efficient seasons in NBA history. So he's got to get something going. And he's in the media.
No, I think he's underrated.
Underrated.
He gets
Underrated.
too much crap
That's
for
just
what his dad is. Like, he does enough. He's a solid point guard in the NBA. He's not the perennial all-star yet, but he had a solid
You're
season
talking
last year.
about the worst starting point guard in the league last year.
I disagree. Dellavedova
Name one worse. Name one worse.
Dellavedova started a few.
Mitch,
What?
he did almost average a triple-double.
Yeah.
He also shot 20% in the lane. It's just unreal. How people think he'll never win. He'll never win. I mean to say he will never be an NBA All-Star.
He will be an
He
all-star.
probably will because he's in a large market, but he doesn't deserve it.
Once Lonzo hits the prime of his career, LeBron's gone, and they stop messing around, and they actually have a solid team there, and he will be the leader of the team. It'll be him and Brandon Ingram.
You're gonna have another star there when LeBron leaves. It's a huge market. There's always been one.
Lonzo.
There always will be.
Lonzo was gonna butt into his star.
Don't ever say that. Okay, I'm over the Lonzo discussion. All right, we're on to the next. The next one is.
Will, are you gonna talk?
Yeah, Will. Actually, Will, you're gonna start us off with this one. Rookie of the year in the NBA this year. Who's it gonna be? He's thinking of the Bucks' first round pick, and he just doesn't know it.
Let me go second.
Okay, I'm gonna start with Austin Rank.
Trae Young.
Oh, that's this draft.
Trae Young, wow. Probably the biggest plus
by a
of that.
million.
Miles
Trae
Bridges.
Young's going to average a quad.
Miles Bridges.
Easy.
Nathan, what do you think here?
I'm gonna go Luka.
Luka Doncic.
He's got all the skills.
I like that. He knows how
If I
to.
had,
You'll see
If I had
him
to put
perform in the
money
NBA.
on
You'll
it.
see him perform in the NBA. He's facing much better competition, but you want to talk about Lonzo Ball? This guy is twice as good as Lonzo Ball.
probably 30 times better.
Not as good as DiVincenzo.
Oh, he plays with grit. I love it. But if I had to put money on who I think is going to be your rookie of the year, I'm going to have to go Ben Simmons. But I'm not a Ben Simmons fan, so I'm going to have to go Kevin Knox of the New York Knicks. He
Knox
struggled
is a
last
troll. He looks
night,
like a
shot
Ninja
4
Turtle.
16, but he's getting minutes.
He looks like a Ninja Turtle.
I don't care if he looks like a Ninja Turtle. Chris Bosh looked like a dinosaur, and he was still an all-star, won a couple of rings, flirted around with a comeback.
Yeah, well then his heart almost blew up.
Ben Simmons, your favorite rookie of the year. Next topic, we have finals predictions. We're going to start with Will Durain because I know he got it.
Okay, can we just pick the East because we know the West already? We know who's going to win it too.
Yeah.
That's true. We all know. Adam Silver's an idiot.
So basically, who's coming out of the East? That should be the question.
Who is going to be the runner-up, basically, is this question now.
Well, the runner-up is going to be the Houston Rockets. They're just not going to be in the finals.
They looked terrible last night. I mean,
dude, it's one game.
Anthony Davis, too good.
Rising team. I think Denver Nuggets can make a run this year.
Paul Millsap, underrated.
Let's get realistic.
Jokic,
it's the Warriors in 5 in the NBA Finals probably, and they're probably going to face a Celtics team.
But I'm interested to see how the next step Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum take with this team, and if Gordon Hayward can get back to normal, this team can compete because they are the deepest team in the league.
Yeah, they're good, but they're not the Warriors.
But the Warriors have no bench anymore.
Who cares? They have the most talent. This year's team is the most. If Cousins comes back from that Achilles injury, and played like he used to, without a doubt, that team is the most talented team in NBA history.
But they don't have Al Horford.
What are we thinking the Lakers do though?
If you have LeBron, they're going to win 50 games. 50 games.
Yeah, I don't see LeBron losing more than 30 games.
50 and 32.
50, 32.
All right. Next up, we have 30 seconds of soccer with Will Durain.
We're back, baby. Premier League is back. The international break's over. Tomorrow, 6:30, or not tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, 6:30 a.m. Getting up, watch Boys in Red. Go to Stanford.
Oh, boo.
Back. They haven't won a game in like forever. They're Chelsea. That's all I got.
Time's done. All right. Next.
Aldo.
Enough with the soccer in the past. Now, next up, we're to the Milwaukee Brewers as they head back to Milwaukee to face the LA Dodgers, down 3-1.
3 games to 2.
3 games to 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking of the ALCS. That is completely my fault.
Which, speaking of the ALCS, we'll get to the ALCS. Never mind.
Mitch.
What's going on with these Brewers? What can they win this series is what I'm asking.
Walk Bellinger.
I got one big point. The series shifted in Game 4. You win that game in extra innings. Without a doubt, you're winning that series. I think Counsell really screwed up not walking Bellinger. His plan was to pitch around Bellinger and walk around Dahl and face the pitcher. I don't know. I honestly don't know if the Brewers would. That
just mind boggles me because he had Bellinger at 2 strikes. How's he pitching around a guy when he's ahead with 2 strikes? I just don't understand.
Down 1-0 right away.
Well, it's also Junior Guerra. Like, pitching around a guy, he's probably throwing it right down the middle.
But Junior went in 5 innings.
No, Junior pitched really well. But
he did his job.
Yeah, without a doubt. You got to score more.
Especially Woody. Woody also did his job yesterday.
Woodruff did his job. I thought when he hit Machado, that should have been the end of it. He was starting to show some fatigue. Okay, but the Brewers can win the series. They're back in Miller Park, so I think the offense comes back. They scored 10 runs in Miller Park in 2 games. I think people forget that. Like, they say their offense is dead, but they scored 6 runs and 4 runs. So
their offense isn't dead. Just a couple key factors into that lineup are very dead right now, including your MVP.
That's because the long ball's disappeared. Once the long ball comes back, I think it changes everything. So you're back in Miller Park. You hit a couple home runs. You need a good start out of Wade Miley Friday. You win Friday night, and Game 7's a shootout. Because
can you find it?
Walker Buehler versus Yoelis Chacin. Your best versus, Kershaw's, I guess, their best, but through the whole season is Walker Buehler against our best.
Walker Buehler did have a very good outing against Milwaukee last time out, but I don't know. I feel like this is all on the offense because the pitchers are keeping the ball in the park against LA, and they're a very home run heavy team. I feel like if they can get 4 runs in each of the next 2 games, they're probably going to come out with both of them.
If they score 4 runs, they already had won the series. If they score 4 runs in every game.
No, not last night, but
Or
that's a different story. There was a snowball effect that happened. But speaking of something interesting that happened, and a guy that just simply doesn't seem to want his money coming up in the offseason, Manny Machado, what do you guys think of him accidentally kicking Jesus Aguilar's ankle? Like, what do you guys think about that?
It all started with his 2 dirty slides.
I see that in baseball all the time, and it's not an accident. So
No, yeah, it's not an accident. He can say it's an accident as much as he wants. But, like,
Oh.
I don't know. Machado's kind of showing his true colors this series. Like, between his comments about how he's not a hustle guy, he's not a Johnny Hustle player, and it's not his cup of tea. And then showing his dirty side. It's kind of, I don't know. He's a great baseball player, but
I think we saw Machado's dirty side when he tried fighting Josh Donaldson as an Oriole.
yeah, that did happen when he threw the bat. Are you talking that
Threw his
play?
helmet at him. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He also ended Dustin Pedroia's career. I think everyone's forgetting to mention that.
Well, a lot of people forget because he played in Baltimore. No one gave a shit.
what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on Bregman's video?
We're not talking about Alex Bregman right now. With that, the ALCS is next. But I just want to say, Manny Machado's dirty play changed the mindset of this whole series.
Oh, yeah, it definitely
Okay,
did.
no, let me talk. Cody Bellinger hits that one right past Aguilar in the dive. If Aguilar had 2
Oh my
healthy
God, no,
ankles,
no.
he could have got to that ball.
Doesn't
Where
all-
he is.
No,
He vacuums that up.
I don't agree with that. I mean, maybe,
Manny Machado, I don't care how dirty he is, he's getting his money this offseason
Yeah,
because
Chicago.
a team like the Chicago Cubs,
Cubs,
who are
baby.
desperate to beat the Milwaukee Brewers with all their bandwagon fans, want another superstar. And will it be enough? It probably won't be enough.
Well,
I
I think
Machado's
the
going
Addison
back to the
Russell thing
Orioles.
really pushes Manny Machado more towards the Cubs. But, like, who do you give the money to if you're Chicago? You give it to Bryce Harper or do you give it to Manny Machado? You have holes in both places. Shortstop's going to have a hole because Addison Russell can't keep his hands to himself. And Jason Hayward, you can just let that little experiment go at this point.
Well, I feel like it's going to be more Bryce Harper because I don't see Kyle Schwarber being a Cub next year, frankly. And
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
not
think
even
Bryce
talking about
Harper
Schwarber.
deserves the
You're gonna
money.
have Happ and Almora for sure and Hayward. Schwarber barely played this year.
I know, but still, it's still a big bat in the outfield. But Bryce Harper, he had a down year, and he's expecting to get all this money. Heck, give the Cubs both Machado and Harper, and the Brewers will still beat them because,
I
you
think
know
the
what?
Eric Krause.
Cubs choke.
Big money.
Eric Krause needs the money. He's the
He
booster.
needs money.
Eric Kratz needs a
A lot like Slater.
How do we
He's got-
like
he
Eric
needs
Kratz
400
swing? How do
million.
we like Eric Kratz swing on? Was that a Kershaw changeup last night?
That was like a 68-mile-an-hour freak show. Wow.
That was the Wolf.
So
What will?
nobody was hitting him anyways, so he was trying something different.
All right, we're not going to talk much about the ALCS,
No,
but I just want
one
your
thing I
thoughts.
just like to point out,
Did you guys see the video of Mookie Betts and the fan interference? Did the umps make the right call on that one? We're going to start with Austin Rank.
Yep, definitely
Yeah.
made the right call.
Yeah, that was the right
Glover
call.
put that play.
It was kind of, I don't know, it's kind of black and white though. I feel like you can. How do you say that wasn't the right call?
I feel like it's an unwritten rule that they can't, like, the fans, what are they supposed to do? If Mookie doesn't catch it, one of the fans could get hit in the face or something tragic could happen.
Why don't teams just move fans back 2 rows where that's not even an option?
I don't know. It was an easy call. I feel like you can question the rule, but you can't question.
Yeah,
the
I can question the rule. There's no doubt Mookie Betts was catching that ball if there was no fan interference.
Like at Miller Park, that would never happen. Why is every park not where the bleachers aren't right on the wall?
Miller Park should be every park.
Every park needs a Bernie slide.
The greatest take in BLT history. Miller Park should be every park.
All 50 teams play at Miller Park.
Yeah.
20
Okay, well, I'd like to point out, Mitch. I remember during last week Thursday when you said Houston Astros without a doubt might sweep them.
You know, I still got faith in my Astros over there. They're
Greatest
still
team ever.
I still think they're the
They're not
heavy
looking
favorites
good.
to win
And-
the World Series.
I said Chris Sale was going to be the X factor. They lost Chris Sale's start, and he's not starting until game 6. He might have no factor on this game.
No, David Price will not beat Justin Verlander. It's just not going to happen.
We'll see.
No way, Jose.
Well, I wouldn't put too much money on that one. You said they were going to sweep.
You know, Jose Altuve's a little banged up. AJ Hinch is struggling with the pen. And Jackie Bradley Jr. has every single Red Sox in this backpack, and then they're just on. It's just too heavy. It's going to fall off.
No one would have expected that.
All right, we're going to go to our next topic of concern. College football. What is wrong with the Wisconsin Badgers? Who is to blame for this disappointing season so far?
They're fine. You look at that game and some questionable calls. It just kind of snowballed, and that's what turned into what it did. But you look at a season as a whole, they still have that opportunity to win the West and knock out an Ohio State or a Penn State. Probably Ohio State, now Penn State, lost Michigan State. But Ohio State in the conference championship and play spoiler, and you win your conference. Like, there's nothing to shame on that. Like, when it was BCS and it was 1 and 2 that were in, that was the big deal. And now so much emphasis on a college football playoff, and I mean it's added pressure, but like you still got to look at the season as a whole and say, damn good football team, and one slip up here, it's not the end of the world.
We have zero chance at beating Ohio State if we ever play them this year.
That's not true. They lost the best player on their football team, Joey Bosa, who sadly has injuries and wants to
has been gone for a little while.
Different options before he goes to the NFL draft, and prayers up to him. Hope he gets better. Love you.
Yeah, Mitch, Joey Bosa has been gone for a while, so that's a flaming hot take.
Joey Bosa or not, they beat Wisconsin by 30.
Joey Bosa hasn't played for Ohio State in a couple of years, dude.
Nick Bosa. I am so sorry, fans. Nick Bosa. You know they're all the same guy. I'm sorry, Nick. I'll send you a gift card later on tonight.
Where's your confidence? Why is your confidence dwindled?
My confidence has dwindled because we have this guy at quarterback who everyone says he's the guy. You can't have what? What do you have? What was his stat line? Yeah, in 100 yards. 100 yards. What I don't understand is it's 3rd and 2, Paul Chris. Jonathan Taylor's averaging 6 yards per carry. Give him the football.
So you're blaming that on Alex Hornibrook?
No, I'm basically blaming it on Alex Hornibrook because Paul Chryst wants so much confidence in a crappy quarterback.
No.
Alex Hornibrook, he does not deserve the Maxwell. He does not deserve to be in the finalist list. He is hot trash.
That's not.
He's played too average to still play. So he has just a little bit of faith from Paul Chryst, and it's too much faith that they don't run the ball enough.
There's so much faith he has to have in Alex Hornibrook.
Alex Hornibrook is the left-handed version of Joel Stave.
I don't know who that is, so you're going to have to get better references.
Joel Stave has like the second highest winning percentage in Wisconsin Badger football history.
Because of a great defense, offensive line, and running backs.
You do know the only people that hate on Alex Hornibrook are Wisconsin residents. Like people.
That's because everyone else wants Alex Hornibrook to start football games for Wisconsin, because then they will still never make the college football playoff.
Be better. Potential has not been reached.
You only pick out the 5 throws, maybe 2 to 3 throws a game that.
Because he doesn't make any good throws. I don't hear 1 week. I don't see anyone say, Alex Hornibrook, you made a good throw on that one. No. Oh, we got a wide open Tom Brady receiver, and I'll throw it 3 feet behind him.
Okay. Eliminate that Michigan game because that game was just a colossal failure.
You can't just eliminate football games. He played terrible.
Before that game, Pro Football Focus, who was the highest rated quarterback in the Big Ten? It was Alex Hornibrook.
So what you're basically saying is he's more efficient than Dwayne Haskins right now. I don't care what Pro Football Focus says.
I'm saying he is like highest value quarterback.
So what's the problem for Wisconsin if he's the highest valued quarterback? Why are they losing these football games if they have the highest Pro Focus guy?
Where did Rank go?
He's up there.
They're losing the football. Well, you can't give up 38 points and expect to win a football game against a Power 5 team that's ranked in the top 15. That can't happen. That
Denver
you can't
just
put on Hornibrook.
touched on defense.
They'll be good in 3 years. They got a good running back from Texas.
Oh,
Nick
They have the most talented recruiting quarterback ever in Wisconsin history. Graham Mertz should not be redshirting. I disagree with the decision.
He's going to be bolstered by Travian. I don't know his last name, but he's good.
Williams.
Give him Just-
And we are back. This commercial was brought to you by Arizona. Back to the action. Next, we have LC Sports. We talked last week about the spread and the over-under for the LC football team, and Nathan Yagodinsky thought it was a trap game. Well, got a couple notes from that game. Luxembourg Casco covered the spread and the over-under, as Mitchell Jandren predicted, against O'Connell Falls with a 55-0 win. Lance Tevon, 2 catches, 190 yards, and a touchdown, 200 all-purpose yards. And Noah Lindsley, the staggering defense. The linebackers just all-time. 2 solo tackles and 5 total tackles. Nathan, would you care to take it away with what LC has to go up against this
All right,
week?
well, I'd first just like to start out by acknowledging their interesting quarter of the bracket. Did you guys take a peek at that?
Yeah, they're all going down to Milwaukee to face these teams, aren't
Milwaukee
they?
area schools, basically. Shortest travel would be Plymouth if they would end up facing them, but that's not looking likely. So they got Grafton this week, tomorrow night. Grafton's the 4, LC's the 3 or 5, 4 against the 5.
Yep, that would be how you do it.
In terms of record, LC is 6-3, Grafton's 5-4. It's really tough to match these two teams up because obviously there's no similar opponents.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
just looking statistically, it looks like offensively they kind of are pretty much the same. They both have thrown for over 1,500 yards this year with 16 touchdowns. Both have almost identical rushing yards. LC has about 6 more rushing touchdowns. They score basically both teams score pretty well, averaging right around 30 a game. But I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think defenses are going to kind of come into play in this one. You look at some of the scores, and it's they're kind of blowing out bottom of the tier high school football, and that's why average points per game is racking up. But I'm going to actually give the nod to LC this week. I think they're going to win. Grafton's quarterback statistically, he's not that impressive. His completion percentage is around 45%. Throws for a lot of yards, but not a very high completion percentage. So I think X factor is going to be quarterback play by Garrett Eisen. I think they'll get the job done, and defensively, as long as they stay on pat, I think they'll win.
Guys, I'll give you one key factor to this ball. It's the left tackle, Blake Yagodinsky. I mean, he'll receive for a touchdown that'll win the game. That should do it for the Spartans. Blake's pretty much been MVP all year, and I don't know. Hope he doesn't get MVP, MIP, sophomore of the year, and possibly even all-conference nod. But, I mean, he'll be a force to be reckoned with in the NFL one day. Mitch?
We got Luxembourg Casco 24, Grafton 17.
24 to 17.
A crucial touchdown will be a kick return by Lance
You think
Tevon.
there's going to be 2 field goals kicked?
There's going to be a what?
2 field goals?
Yes,
This is high school football.
I looked at the weather. a little bit. It's not supposed to be too windy. It's going to be a little chill, but
We kicked
Hey.
1 field goal this year. 1.
well, do you want to win a football game in the high school playoffs? Is that what it is?
All prediction.
Dylan Manny's got to have the guys ready at all costs. If we have to kick a field goal, we will kick a field goal.
My prediction, Blake, touchdown. We'll get a safety. They'll get a safety. 9-2 is your final windy conditions.
I love it. I love it, ladies and
I'm
gentlemen.
really rooting for a win, though, because they'll get to match up against New Berlin Eisenhower next week. Number 2 ranked team in the state, undefeated. Nice 2.5 hour drive. That'd be interesting.
Coming your way down.
All you got to have is heart, and you have a chance. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on to our next topic, which is LC volleyball. The Spartans take on Freedom in the second round of the playoffs as we speak. They first serve was at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock Eastern time for us in the Midwest. The Spartans coming in with an overall record of 22-20 when they are 7-2 in conference, and the Freedom is coming in with a overall record of 10-17. 3-6 in conference. The Spartans defeated the Irish in the regular season in straight sets. What's your prediction for tonight's game?
They'll win in straight sets. Beginning of playoffs. I won't say cupcake because they got by, but tune-up game.
It's a tune-up game. It's
Yeah.
a tune-up game, as people call it. I got them in straight sets.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for this week's show. And if anyone was concerned about Will Durain, he had an emergency. He is fine. We are checking on him in local hospitals. We will give you an update next week. Thank you.
And as always, if you like sports with your biscuits, come to Bush League Takes.